Welcome back, Culers. While Barcelona weren't involved, PSG's brutal 4-0 demolition of Real Madrid at the Club World Cup sent shockwaves through European football, and there's a lot for Barça to take away from that performance. From high-pressing intensity to fluid attacking transitions, PSG exposed every weakness in Madrid's setup, something Barcelona can definitely analyze moving forward. And in the middle of all this, a major update on our captain. Marc-André Ter Stegen has reportedly made a big decision about his future at Barça. According to Sport, the German goalkeeper has now set a clear timeline for his potential exit. Let's unpack it all. Being able to watch a competitive match between PSG and Real Madrid in July has its benefits if you're Barcelona. In Spain and Europe, these two are the Blaugrana's main rivals at the moment. Most likely, when Barcelona defends their Spanish crown, they will be doing so against Xabi Alonso's new-look Los Blancos. In the Champions League, it seems certain that Real Madrid and PSG will be top contenders. And that's the area where Barcelona has the most to prove in Hansi Flick's second year. So what did we learn in the Club World Cup semi-final between the two European juggernauts? First, PSG are absolute monsters, and they may be even better in the coming season. They have the advantage of playing in France, where they will have more opportunities to rest their Gala 11, and will be full of confidence in the Champions League, the competition that they will surely prioritize from the jump. Under Luis Enrique they keep getting better and better. Now they are resembling a mature, well-drilled team that is executing on the pitch with style and pure instinct. They put the game against Real Madrid away in the first 10 minutes, dominating possession, pressing like machines and finishing their chances ruthlessly. You could say that Antonio Rudiger and Raúl Asensio made big errors that gifted PSG the opening goals. In reality, however, Ousmane Dembélé caught both of them off guard by pressing and counter-pressing with focus and determination. This is no accident. This is the system that Luis Enrique has built, and his talented, united team are making winning look easy. Real Madrid now have a lot of thinking to do over the next month. But first, those players really need rest. Even more than Barcelona, they would have benefited from taking this tournament off to collect themselves and start to rebuild under the new manager. I'm not sure how much Xabi Alonso can take from these games so early on in his tenure, without having time with his players on the training ground first. Kylian Mbappé will likely once again put up big numbers. He continues to grow in confidence as a Real Madrid player, and now looks poised to take the reins as their leader into the future. But that won't necessarily equate to team success. Xavi Alonso has incredible attacking talent, but they don't like to overexert themselves defensively. Since the departure of Toni Kroos, their midfield has struggled to control games and create chances. Their defensive line, however, still looks to be the most uncertain element of all. Thank goodness for Thibaut Courtois, Madridistas must be saying, or else the 4-0 embarrassment could have turned into a total humiliation. Barcelona ultimately need to keep working on themselves. Real Madrid has plenty of time to learn and grow as a group, just like PSG did last season. Xabi Alonso has already proven himself to be a talented manager, and shouldn't be underestimated. If there's one thing I take from PSG in particular, is how easy their game looks tactically. Barcelona are a brave attacking force under Hansi Flick, but sometimes it looks like they are throwing caution to the wind defensively. Luis Enrique's pressing system in 2025 has truly been world-class in its consistent efficacy. Meanwhile, they aren't giving anything up in their intention to attack aggressively and with as much possession as possible. They know when to put the foot on the gas and when to slow it down. How to build from the back, but also how to win the ball in advantageous parts of the field to maximize goal-scoring chances. Luis Enrique really is a Barcelona man, and he has brought those principles to PSG to great success. To be the best, Barcelona has to beat the best. And at the moment that team is in Paris. FC Barcelona skipper Ter Stegen makes decision on exit date, reports Sport. FC Barcelona goalkeeper and captain Marc-André Ter Stegen has made a decision on which point of the upcoming season he might leave the club according to Sport, which cited anonymous sources. The German spent most of 2024/2025 injured after picking up a serious ACL knock in September against Villarreal. Iñaki Peña took his number 1 spot under Hansi Flick, while ex-Juventus and Arsenal man Wojciech Szczesny was called out of retirement to provide backup. When Peña was late for an important meeting in Saudi Arabia during Barca's Spanish Super Cup campaign, however, Szczesny got the nod for the semi-final and final thrashing of Real Madrid and didn't look back while going on to play a pivotal role in an impressive domestic treble triumph. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, however, with Barca shipping 7 goals to Inter Milan in the Champions League semi-finals. and therefore failing to reach the decider for the first time since 2015, won by Paris Saint-Germain. PSG's thrashing of Madrid wasn't just a statement, it was a blueprint for how to dominate the world's best. Barcelona must take note. Quicker transitions, aggressive pressing, and relentless attack can break even the most disciplined teams. As for Ter Stegen, his leadership has been vital, and his reported decision about when he'll step away marks the beginning of succession planning for Barca's goalkeeping future. We're entering a crucial phase for the club, both tactically and in terms of leadership. If you want to stay ahead of all Barca news and deep analysis like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Visca el Barça. Welcome back to the channel, Madridistas and football fans around the world. Today we witness the end of an era at the Santiago Bernabéu. Real Madrid closed their season with a heavy heart, not just due to the loss on the pitch, but because two legends, Luka Modric and Lucas Vázquez, wore the famous white jersey for the final time. Head coach Xabi Alonso reflected on the emotional night, Rodrygo's absence, and even dropped hints about potential summer signings. From emotional farewells to tough lessons on the pitch, let's break down everything that went down, and what it means for Real Madrid's future. According to an update shared by Psg'S, it has been learned that Real Madrid manager Xabi Alonso has made a firm decision regarding three players in his squad, namely Rodrygo Góes, Brahim Diaz, and Dani Ceballos. Their limited involvement during the recent FIFA Club World Cup has sparked serious doubts about their future at the club, and it is now clear that they are no longer part of the coach's vision moving forward. Rodrygo, once seen as a key part of Madrid's future attack, was left on the bench during the entire match against PSG. Over the whole tournament he played just 92 minutes, a shocking drop for a player once considered untouchable. This lack of trust suggests that the Brazilian's time at the Bernabéu may soon come to an end. Competition leaves no room for Brahim and Ceballos. Brahim Diaz, who aims to be a starter under Alonso, also struggled to earn Alonso's trust. The 25-year-old featured in 4 games but only clocked 103 minutes overall. His chances are shrinking even more with the arrival of Franco Mastantuono, a young star with big potential. The battle for places in midfield has become too fierce, and Brahim is no longer a top option. Dani Ceballos had an even smaller role. He played just 70 minutes in the entire tournament. With Eduardo Camavinga set to return and Real Madrid actively searching for a new midfielder, Ceballos now finds himself well down the pecking order. His future at the club looks increasingly uncertain. Alonso has made it clear that Rodrygo, Brahim, and Ceballos are not in his plans for next season. Now, Real Madrid have already started exploring ways to move them on. A summer exit now appears almost certain for all three players, as they prepare to start fresh elsewhere. Xabi Alonso demands reinforcement in key position after Club World Cup humiliation, report. According to an update from Psg'S, Real Madrid manager Xabi Alonso has made a clear and urgent request to the club's hierarchy. Sign a new midfielder who can take charge of the game and set the tempo under his leadership. The demand follows the team's heavy defeat to PSG in the Club World Cup, a result that exposed several shortcomings, particularly in midfield. Alonso was reportedly disappointed with how his midfield operated against a strong PSG side. Despite Arda Güler's earlier promising displays in the tournament, the young Turkish star struggled to keep up with the pace and intensity of PSG's midfield. It was a clear sign for Alonso that while Güler has potential, he is not yet ready to handle the responsibility in high-pressure matches. What will Real Madrid do? This has led Alonso to push for a high-quality, experienced midfielder who brings more than just flair. He wants someone who can control the rhythm of the game, contribute both in attack and defense, and offer stability during tough matches. The club is close to strengthening the left flank with the arrival of Álvaro Carreras, but now the spotlight has shifted to the middle of the park. There is no specific name on the table just yet, but Real Madrid are already working to identify the right fit. Alonso's message is loud and clear that if Real Madrid want to remain competitive at the top level, especially in Europe, they must act fast and secure a midfield general. With the team in a generational transition, signings like this are vital. The loss to PSG might have stung, but it also gave the club a reality check. Now, all eyes are on Florentino Perez and the board to deliver what Alonso believes is an essential addition to his squad. The next big summer signing is expected to be a top-tier midfielder. PSG cruised to a commanding 4-0 victory over Real Madrid on Wednesday afternoon at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, booking a spot in Sunday's 2025 FIFA Club World Cup final against Chelsea. The French side stormed out with 3 goals in the opening half-hour, leaving Real Madrid stunned and unable to respond. The breakthrough came after a costly mistake from Raul Asensio. Ousmane Dembele pounced inside the box and forced a save from Thibaut Courtois, but Fabian Ruiz was quickest to react and slotted in the rebound with a calm left-footed finish. PSG doubled their lead shortly after when Antonio Rudiger, under pressure from Dembele, gave the ball away near his own area. Dembele capitalized, raced in on goal, and buried a low shot past Courtois with his left foot. The third came just before halftime following a sharp team move. Achraf Hakimi broke down the right and picked out Ruiz in the middle, who shook off Federico Valverde and finished confidently with his left. Late in the match, Hakimi again burst down the flank and squared the ball to Bradley Barcola in the box. Barcola kept his cool, laying it off for Goncalo Ramos, who spun and fired home to seal the rout. What Luis Enrique said about Xabi Alonso. After PSG's 4-goal win over Los Blancos, manager Luis Enrique spoke to the media and defended Real Madrid boss Xabi Alonso from any criticism that he might receive from the Spanish media and other outlets that cover the club. "It doesn't matter if it's reflected or not, it's what was on the scoreboard," Enrique said, hat-tip Defensa Central. "These are two different projects. Mine has been going on for 2 seasons and Xabi has already shown his level, but you can't compare. You can't assess anything because he hasn't had time to work or do anything. It's due to the team's generosity. It was said that we didn't have leaders and we didn't score goals, but since January you've seen what we are. We put everything at the service of the group. It doesn't matter who plays. Today we've seen a decisive, unique and differential player. I hope he's fit for the final." Alonso talks Modric, Vasquez, Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, summer signings after PSG 4-0 Real Madrid. Real Madrid manager Xabi Alonso opened up after his team's tough loss to Paris Saint-Germain in the Club World Cup semi-final. The 0-4 defeat was a hard pill to swallow, and Alonso did not hide his frustration. However, he remained calm and made it clear that this loss does not define what's ahead for Real Madrid. Alonso admitted that the team started with the right mindset but lost control early. "We wanted to start strong because we knew how good PSG is. But after the 10th minute it got tough. We didn't feel right on the pitch. It hurt to be down 3-0 by halftime. At 2-0 there's still a bit of hope, but the third goal was a blow," he explained.